Assalamu alaikum. I hope you people are coping. I realize it must be very stressful sometimes. But try to be yourself, fighting, moving on, futuristic, looking for the day when the colors would be color, and when the breeze would be breeze, and the fragrance would be fragrance. I welcome you today and greet you to the first of Ramadan. It's not a month of restraint only, it's a month of sharing. It's a month of empathy. It's a month of thinking. Let's forget all the minus things, all the negative things, and let's move on with a positivity in our minds and a very deep-rooted hope in our hearts. I wish you all the best. We are today in Pakistani Studies online course. It is the 8th week, and we are talking about the status of women in Pakistan. What a pity and what a shame that half of the population is still struggling to get this respectful right and rightful respect to exist in this society. But still it is a big dream. You and I are the fortunate people who live in big cities, who have better homes, where there is a very positive thinking that has brought you up to this level. But the majority of women continue to suffer. I'm sure you must have heard Maulana Tariq Jamil saying that it is all because of us bad women that the coronavirus has come. And the word that he has used, I would not like to repeat it. But my leader, my Qaid-e-Azam, said, no nation can rise to the height of glory unless their women are side by side with them. It's a crime against humanity that our women are shut up within the four walls of the houses as prisoners. There is no sanction anywhere for the deplorable condition in which our women have to live. Qaid-e-Azam, I'm really sorry. Things have not changed much. And a research was done, and one woman, Bashira Bibi, was interviewed, and the bitter reality that she gave in her own words, and I quote her, Pakistan was made only for the powerful and for the men. It sounds familiar, almost a reality. It was not made for weak and poor women like me. What are we worth and what is our status here? Nothing at all. Do you see the disillusionment? Do you see the treatment that life forwards it to them? And we have to say that why Pakistani society has not moved from a very prejudiced and parochial and male-dominated society. Life is for sharing. It's not for dominance. And when you share everything, good or bad, positive or negative, happiness or grief, you share everything. The patriarchal setup seldom gives a chance to the other half of human population to flourish and stand up for its own cause. The country runs on, as they claim, on international politics. We can claim with pride that Benazir Bhutto was the first executive head of an Islamic country, and also there are very strong political women in our Pakistan, Shari Rahman, Fahmida Mirza, Hina Rabbani Khar, Maryam Nawaz Sharif. And on the other hand, there are instances of Mukhtara Bibi, Tahmina Durrani, and Malala Yousafzai that most of the men do not wish to hear their name also. These women are not confined to any particular socio-economic segment or any rural-urban divide. They have suffered in the hands of violent perpetrators, mainly due to social and political reasons. The World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap stated in 2012 in its report that among the worst places for women in the world is Pakistan. It's a shame, really. And we cannot thank enough for our good fortune, you, the ladies in my class, and myself as your teacher. This situation has led to the social and economic dependence of women, which in turn ensures male domination in society. The educational facilities are not available to women far away from perfection. I am talking about only as a beginning. On one hand, the educational infrastructure is unsatisfactory, while on the other hand, the social conduct and perceptions are not always in favor of female education. Don't think that these are stories. Go to small towns, go to villages, go to hinterland, and these are the realities there. And what really helps this condition is poverty, for low enrollment and high dropout rate, especially female students. Because when it comes to a matter of choice and the family doesn't have enough funds, the boy will go to the school and the girl will stay home. Mostly we say that Islam does not permit women to move on or to work for society or to share the burden of a society with equity, with justice, and with tolerance. The pre-Islamic age, if we compare with, then Islam brings in a very socio-cultural and political justice to Muslim women. It gave them a gradual increase in their position as well as noticeable. Islam as a religion has provided ample status and opportunities to women for establishing themselves as an important part of the society. Do not get misled what the patriarchal religious leaders continue to say about it. But there are men in this society, and we must appreciate that, who continue to support and favor the development of women. Pre-Islamic Arabia, which is known as the time of Jahiliyyah, the women were in subjugation either to their kinsmen or their husbands. And the war was continual during that time. Women were frequently taken as captives. They were usually treated by the enemy as bondmaids and were held in contempt. They were no more a commodity then, and even now, a majority of women is no more than a commodity still. Women had no independence or power over issues relating to their well-being, and they were excluded from any active role in the social and political affairs of their respective society. One of the social reasons for such an attitude was that in pre-Islamic times, there were often inner tribal blood feuds which demanded male members to defend their tribes. Oh, this is still a customary thing in our tribal culture also. In such anarchical times as that of Ayyam Jahiliyyah in Arab, Islam on principle brought the idea of equal status and respect for women in barren deserts of Arabia. It's very interesting that in one stroke, Islam has banished the stigma from women that she is man's eternal seducer and tempter, and that but for her provides equal status to women, and she has an independent personality which cannot be subjugated. Men are always seen as pure and sinless, while all the blames comes to women. A woman has an independent personality which cannot be subjugated. The Holy Quran has disclosed the origin of humankind and has addressed men and women as complementary components of a species who together are capable of maintaining the survival of human race. One of these exceptions that most of people bring forward is the idea of qivam, of husbands over their wives. A husband is a qawwam. He protects the interest and looks after the affairs of his wife. The Quran mentions that the idea behind giving the right of qawwam to the husbands over their wives is because it is the duty of the man to provide for his wife and his family. And when the economic conditions and when the economic roles change, we need to really rethink about it, that what Islam was promising to women. Islam only does not give basic equality to women, but also equal legal rights. She can buy, she can sell, she can earn a living and manage her own money and property. No man has to have a claim on that. In Islam, the woman has a legally independent personality and her obligations are independent from her father, husband, or brother. In addition, Islam gave inheritance right to women from movable as well as immovable property. She also has share of property after death of male relatives like father, husband, and brother. But how unfortunate it is that over a period of time, this aspect of equality, so clearly delineated in Islam, has been replaced with gender discrimination and inequality, even degrading to severe form of violence which is rampant in Pakistan. The prevalence of customary laws became more visible as Islam traveled far and wide. Therefore, the true essence of the religion has been compromised, as is evident in Pakistan, and in the place of equality for women, violence became the rule of the land. You know, Pakistan has two very strong sources of law. One is Sharia and one is our constitution. But when it comes to the matters of women, there is always the third one that takes over the precedence, and that is tradition. That is the tradition that we say. At the individual level, the women themselves are also not aware of the rights enshrined to them in Islam, because we are never taught about it. We are never made aware of that. Islam considers both men and women equally human and grants them equal human rights. Both have similar duties to perform. For instance, prayer, rituals, fasting. There is no concession to women. And according to Islam, superiority is only based on piety, based on reflection, how you think about it and how you feel you are responsible to give your share to life. In reality, women are more conversant with the concocted version as preached by religious leaders with a certain bent of mind. Severe case of ignorance, or maybe the idea of respect, which they call lihaz, that is ingrained in their psyche by family and surrounding, cause such passive identity. Basically, women are like enjoying only a passive existence. In Pakistan, what is the status of women? And if we take a close status in the practical aspect concerning the implementation of these rights provided by Islam and the Constitution, as Constitution promises, there will not be any law that would be against the laws of Sharia, means Quran and Hadith. We are an Islamic Republic. Every rule and regulation in the country is based on Islamic law. But at the same time, there are some customs and traditions against Islamic laws which are commonly practiced. Cultural patterns in Pakistan do not let women enjoy their legal and religious rights protected by law and provided by Islam. So in women's case, the constitution and the Sharia is made to be silent and only tradition rules over. There is a fear factor also, prevents women from asserting their rights. These bodies unlawfully impose punishments on those who assert their individual rights against the prescribed norms of the tribal or community. Let it be a jirga or let it be a panchayat. Women has to go through all these customary things, not their rightful legal avenues in Pakistan. I will say goodbye for this lecture, and I'll continue on the same topic in the second part of it. Thank you.